Did you feel that? Because Alaska just did. A shallow earthquake shook the ground near Mount Spurr, a potentially active volcano just 80 miles west of Anchorage, and it has scientists on edge. Could this be the warning shot of an impending eruption? Today, we are diving into the powerful link between earthquakes and volcanoes, the real science behind these shaking signals, and what the recent seismic rumblings could mean for the future of Mount Spurr and the people living nearby. Let's get into it. Mount Spurr is no stranger to chaos. Towering at 11,070 feet, about 3.37 kilometers, this volcano last erupted in 1992, sending ash clouds miles into the sky and disrupting air travel across Alaska. Since then, it has been mostly quiet. That is, until now. On April 1, 2025, a series of shallow earthquakes struck just miles from the volcano's summit. These quakes were not massive in magnitude, but they were close to the surface. And that is exactly the kind of activity scientists watch for. Why? Because it can signal that magma is on the move. Let us take a quick step back. What exactly causes earthquakes? Earthquakes happen when stress builds up in the Earth's crust, most often due to the movement of tectonic plates. Eventually, that stress is released as seismic waves, shaking the ground. Simple, right? But here is where it gets interesting. Earthquakes do not just happen along fault lines. They can also be triggered by magma pushing through the crust, a process known as volcanic seismicity. When magma rises from deep within the Earth, it cracks the surrounding rock. That cracking can create earthquake swarms, a cluster of small quakes that sometimes serve as early warning signs of a volcanic eruption. In the days, weeks, or even months before a volcanic eruption, the ground often shakes more frequently and with increasing intensity. This happens because magma is rising, creating pressure. Rock is fracturing to make way for the magma. Gases are building up beneath the surface. These microquakes, or sometimes larger tremors, are like footsteps before a giant leap. Scientists monitor this seismic activity in real time using sensitive instruments called seismometers. Patterns in depth, frequency, and intensity can tell geologists if magma is pooling beneath the volcano and if an eruption is likely to follow. Mount Spurr's 1992 eruption coated plains and towns in volcanic ash, and that was with only moderate warning. If it erupts again, the consequences could be far-reaching. Why? It is close to Anchorage, Alaska's largest city. It sits below busy flight paths. Ash plumes can ground flights, damage engines, and disrupt infrastructure. Lahar's volcanic mud flows and pyroclastic flows could affect nearby areas if the eruption is explosive. The recent earthquake activity, along with elevated steam emissions and increased gas readings, suggests that something is happening beneath Spurr. The Alaska Volcano Observatory has heightened monitoring, and emergency preparedness measures are already being reviewed. This is not the first time earthquakes gave us a heads up. In 2018, Kilauea's eruption in Hawaii was preceded by a series of escalating quakes. The infamous Mount St. Helens eruption in 1980 was triggered just 45 minutes after a magnitude 5.1 earthquake cracked open the mountain. In 2010, Iceland's Eyjafjallajökull volcano rumbled for weeks before exploding, halting flights across Europe. In each case, earthquakes were the canary in the coal mine, a signal of pressure building below. So should we be panicking? No, but we should be prepared. The key to safety in these scenarios is early detection and public awareness. Thanks to modern seismic networks, volcanologists can monitor volcanic behavior in near real time. When multiple signals align, earthquakes, gas releases, ground deformation, they can issue timely alerts that save lives. For now, Mount Spurr has not erupted, but it is rumbling, and when a volcano starts talking, you listen. This is why understanding the connection between earthquakes and volcanic activity is so critical. Earthquakes are more than ground-shaking events. They are messages from deep within the earth, and if we learn to read them, we might just stay one step ahead of disaster. What do you think? Is Mount Spurr waking up for real? Or is this just a geological tease? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to know more about the science behind volcanoes, earthquakes, and the incredible forces shaping our planet, subscribe and hit the bell for more thrilling earth science content. Thanks for watching and stay safe.